Well, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Stock, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, I'm still talking crypto because it is so darn exciting, and like we've had lots of rampant running, and I think that there's a little bit more room for it to run. Yeah, but I think that there is. I'm going to talk about which ones. I have four of them that I have been talking about this week because I thought it was an important week for crypto to break through resistance. And the four that I talked about, each one of them has in sort of its own way, but I think that there's more resistance to be broken, and I'll let you know which ones they are. So I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana. Like, I think every one of them has something very interesting to talk about. I'll talk about each of those, and I think it even ties in really interestingly into a stock play that actually gives us something in the stock market that I think is going to be absolutely huge from where it currently sits moving over the next 2 quarters. I think we're going to see a really strong Q3. When those reports come out, I think that we're going to get a really awesome surprise that's really going to send that stock through the roof. So some people might want to also consider it for themselves. Remember, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. You might find some options plays in there where you didn't think there were some before. Just stick around, listen to it. For right now, let's just get ready to rock. All right, welcome back. So if you do me a favor, there's a like button. Hit it. Subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you can see anytime that my videos come out. So far, I've only heard moderately bad things about my singing. Can't help myself, though. I absolutely love to do it no matter how terrible I am. Moving on from there, if you like the support that I have to show you guys and like more of what I have to offer, there's that link to the Patreon so you can thank me, especially if I brought anything to light that helped you end up making some decisions that ended up turning into cash. You'd like to give me a small kickback in the meantime, and also see some other services. That is over at the Patreon. That link is down in the description. Also, Webull, Moomoo, if you need trading platforms, Moomoo gives you a foreign exchange access, and Webull is U.S. stocks only, but you can get free stocks just for signing up and doing a deposit. So go ahead and check that out. And I get free stocks in return. So just a way that you can support yourself, and it also supports me on the back end of things. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's move right on to the cryptos. Ooh, I clicked a button. All right. So here we're looking at CoinMarketCap. I've been here a lot, but it's really nice, easy to find these things. So the nice thing is it gets it listed by market cap. So we have Bitcoin, number one, of course, Ethereum, number two, still at this point, of course, although that gap seems to be closing. Little by little, I think that Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin eventually. We're going to have to watch that. Cardano still almost tickling that $100 billion mark. We're going to have to watch that. Still sitting right under $3 per share, or I'm sorry, $3 per token. So we're going to have to watch that. And then down here, this is interesting. Solana was number 10, like, I don't know, a week ago by market cap. And then it was sitting at number 8 under Doge. It finally flipped Doge. It flipped to Doji. Solana flipping to Doji. So that is, just to me, it's neat to watch. I figured that would happen eventually, and so it finally did. And I mentioned that Solana, being a crypto that has lots of room to run, its transactions per second are so fast, even for its smart contracts, that it's hard to ignore. It even gets called the Ethereum killer. Honestly, the use cases for Ethereum are so big, and it's such a nimble platform to use. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, but I do believe that Solana is going to keep on climbing towards it. And so I think that to me, it has some serious staying power. All four of these have staying power in their own way. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and that's why I keep on talking about them, because I see more of a long-term stance, a long-term position for them, whereas I don't see it in the same way for a lot of the altcoins. There are some other ones that I talk about, and some that I should probably go into a little bit more detail in future videos. But right now, I do want to move on to the areas of interest for each of these. So Bitcoin has moved, but it hasn't moved greatly. We're still rocking right around $50,000. So, and I mean in the past 7 days, the past week, it hasn't really moved a whole lot from where it's been. We were down around like $47,000, $48,000 per coin. And then it hasn't really moved much from there. We went back up over 50, but it's not really resistance broken at 50,000. It's more like resistance met, resistance hit. We just haven't bounced off of it yet. So what I want to look at in this video with you guys is I want to see if it's something where I think that we're going to break through that resistance. Now, when you look, yeah, we came up to 50, but right now there's no sort of igniting volume. However, we do have those 3 green candles in a row. We have sort of okay volume on this one, but if there is a push coming for Bitcoin, it's not happened yet. So it's something that maybe tomorrow we could see that. And if we see it today with the volume spike, maybe we could see that push up over that $50,000 mark strongly. But to know that resistance is truly broken, we want to see a break on excellent volume, or at least like 3 continuous days of candles that keep on full bodies of candles that close up above that $50,000 mark. And then we can start looking at it as really, really like firm support for us rather than resistance at that $50,000 mark. So Bitcoin's not looking too bad. Ethereum a week ago had one of the best looking charts, and I said that it could make that 20% run up to 4,000, and then it did. And then in another video, I said that 4,000 is going to be really hard to resist. And let's look at the Ethereum chart, because what you'll see is that it just peaked just for a moment up over $4,000 per Ether token, and then it dropped right back down under that. So at least for the time being, at least for today so far, and we'll take a look into more specifics here to see for Ethereum, but we did hit rather hard resistance. I just don't think it's in people's minds yet that Ethereum is that $4,000 or the Ether is that $4,000 token. I think that it's getting there, and I think that that's one of the reasons why the sentiment is there that keeps it hitting that resistance, and that the bears are strong enough to at least cause some doubt for the bulls in this one. And I've mentioned my case before that I believe that when we get to proof of stake, or at least proof of stake date being announced for the test net, that's going to be a bit of a pump day. And then when proof of stake actually does hit the test net, we start to see its performance. That's going to be a time for pumping. And then also when we get that date for that live announcement for proof of stake, I mean, I think people have been waiting on this so hard. And also when that selling pressure goes away, because we have switched to proof of stake, by then it might already be priced into the market, and we could miss the opportunity that was there. So I've actually accelerated. I thought maybe by the end of the second quarter of 2022. Now it depends on our timeline. Depending on how soon we get proof of stake, we could see it as early as Q1. I'm guessing picking about $5,000 per coin, just from the excitement, the lack of the selling pressure, and I think that we're going to see continued improvements through that London hard fork that we had moving forward from there. And I just think that it's just going to be an incredible change. And when we get those transactions per second coming through sharding, as that plays out, that could be another catalyst that more solidly puts us at a sustainable $5,000 per Ether token. So let's see the recent price action and see if we can guess anything near term for what sort of action we should expect coming up, at least, we'll call it within maybe a day to the next couple of days. Now, this isn't a bad looking chart. It is extended. It did take a rest. We consolidated for a while, and then we had another leg up. This could be the early signs maybe of like a flag formation or something coming out. It's just too early to tell. When we look at this on the daily chart level, the volume's okay. And I said that it would take really strong volume to put us up solidly over that $4,000 mark. And so far today, we don't have that sort of volume. We don't have that sort of commitment to really push us up above that $4,000 per Ether token. Let's drop down to the 30-minute chart. And we look at the 30-minute chart. There you can see that bit of the sell-off that we're having down to about the $3,900 level. And if this thing pulls back, this honestly could pull back on us to about the 3,600, or actually, well, right here we have a nice line of support right around like high 37s into 3,800. But it could pull back as strongly as $3,600 per token. So I think that's something that you really want to pay attention to for Ether. And right now, it looks like we're getting just a little bit of settling. So as you see the volume taper off like we don't have a lot of commitment in these prices right now. If we want to see a turnaround, when we see good volume on that turnaround, we start to see some commitment enter into it. So right now, there's a little bit of uncertainty about what to do about these prices. Is it going to stay? Is it going to go? We just have to see. So coming back out to the daily chart, one of the calls that I did make was, even if this does break up over $4,000 per Ether token sometime soon, if we peak out at around that 4,300, wherever this candle was, which it looks like 4,372, so almost 4,400, honestly, that could be another area where we failed to break resistance. And what we could see is a drop off, maybe back down to 4,000, maybe back down to 3,800, maybe as low as 3,600 from there. And then I think that a real rally would start. Not only would we have time enough for that to play out, but then that also should push us far enough along until we get that ETH 2.0, the proof of stake announcement, at least letting us know when it's going to hit the test net. So it could possibly be sometime soon, because it is supposed to hit somewhere in late 2021, early 2022. So if the test net is in 2021, we should get that news sooner than later. If the test net doesn't happen until 2022, for that proof of stake, then it could take a little while longer. And, we could be waiting just a little bit longer. But I think that when it does, that's going to be the major catalyst. So that timeline could shift depending on when we get those sort of updates. In the meantime, we can sit back and we can enjoy the show and possibly when we find those dips. To me, that's an opportunity dollar cost average because I am bullish on Ethereum. And I believe that over the long term, it's really going to dominate. So let's move on from there. So will we break? Actually, I'll summarize that later about whether or not I think that we're going to push through from where we're at right now. I'll talk about that soon. So for Cardano, I think that it will solidly pop up over $3 per token when we get the Alonso hard fork hitting with the smart contracts. I think that's going to be very exciting. And I think the news of it already moved us significantly towards $3 in the first place. But I think we'll get an extra pump as we get up to it and near that date. And then it's possible that it settles back down for a little bit. And then we'll just have to watch for that next catalyst to take place for Cardano. Now, reasons why I think it's going to do that is pretty much purely technical from where we're lined up right now, because Ethereum had a really nice run. Solana had a really nice run. Cardano, don't get me wrong, it had a really nice run. I just don't think that the run is over yet. So let me get to the candlesticks here for Cardano, and let me see the range today. It actually hit a high today of $3.03, and then it just failed again. But Ethereum was one of the most beautiful charts at the beginning of this week. So 7 days ago-ish, somewhere around that time, whenever I made my video about resistance waning for crypto, around that time, Ethereum had one of the most beautiful charts ramping up for the breakout, and it did. It went up 20% this past week, putting us up to the $4,000 mark and then settling a little bit beneath it. And Cardano, I have to say, look at this chart. This thing's absolutely gorgeous. We have the bears hitting a hard line resist right around like that. What that green line is on there right now, right at like $2.97. So that resistance is holding pretty strongly for us, pretty firmly for us. And I think that the bears have had the bears are holding on. The bulls have had enough time to rest that they're finally putting that press on, pushing us closer and closer to breaking that $3 resistance. And I don't think it's going to hold between now and the Alonso hard fork. I think it's going to break, and I think that it could break fairly strong from where it's at. Maybe if talking about, let's just call it $3 per share, taking us up, maybe to about $3.25. Maybe if people get really excited at $3.50, and then pulling back like right around September the 12th, either just before or just on it, when that Alonso hard fork hits, I think is when we really see that break off from there. So this is, like I said, I believe it's a gorgeous looking chart from Cardano. So if you see what I see, tell me in the comments, be like, yeah, I see that too. And if you see other things, you can tell me those as well. And like I said, look at that run that it's had. It settled for a little bit when we had a little bit of a bullish flag going. And then after settling, we had another run up, and the volumes are there right along with it to confirm that sort of breakout that we had. So now the volume's tapered off. The bulls are putting the pressure up. The bears are holding on firm. I think that the next break is on its way, and I think that it could hit any day now. Well, let me see. Today is September the 3rd. We have 9 days until that Alonso hard fork happens. So I think the timing's getting right. Right now, there's a lot of emphasis on Solana. I'll show that one next. There's a lot of emphasis on Ethereum. Bitcoin's getting a little bit of attention. And I think eyes have come away from Cardano in the meantime. But I think that they're going to come back to it, especially when we hit maybe that 1 week mark. So maybe in 2 days from now. And, we'll just, I don't want to put too many dates out there. These are just guesses, opinions on my part. But I do believe that it's going to jump higher prior to September the 12th. Let's take a look at Solana. And I got to say, I'm very pleased about Solana too. I didn't jump in on Solana until it was $70 per token for the Sol token. And I actually double ordered by accident because the first one, it said there was a connection error and your order didn't go through. So I put the order through again, and then I found out I had a double position. So it was a small position, but it was also significantly run up. And I just wanted a little exposure to Solana. I wasn't looking to try and go YOLO on it and break the bank on it. And since then, I bought in about 70. And now it's rocking at $142 per token. And you can see just from the little day chart that we have down here that, it's been holding on, at least throughout the day for that. Let's take a look at the candlesticks and see what that has to say for Solana. All right. So the interesting thing about Solana, let me zoom out just so you can see more of this. Because if you've looked at the charts for Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, they all look like they have this other steep side to it. Solana just doesn't have that. It saw a decent amount of price action. And that was it before this run up. So it went up almost $50 per token. sold off a little bit with everything else, and then it's been a tear ever since. So you can see the little bit of accumulation that we had. You can see the breakout moment with the bullish flag. Here's the flagpole. That also broke out. We had a little bit of a pennant formation, but it happened so quickly. Even that almost didn't have time to come to fruition before the next breakout. But look at the volumes. This makes Solana stand out from all of the others because even with the sort of extension that it has so far, the volumes are still pumping for Solana. The NFT marketplace, I think, is one of those huge drivers for it. It's transactions per second and proof of history. I think that people are actually finally starting to wake up to it and see some of its potential. And even though the adoption for it is much smaller because it's much less established than we have with Ethereum, I think that there's going to be a lot of development that goes along with Solana moving forward from here, and that we're not done seeing its run. And when we look at its market cap, realizing that it only has, let me see, a market cap of 41 billion, fully diluted market cap of 72 billion. This is still smaller than Cardano. It's still much smaller than Ethereum or Bitcoin, and it has such promise to it that we just need the development come in to surround and support it. In the meantime, it's going to have competition from Ethereum, and it's going to be competition for Ethereum. And I think that those two should be much closer in market cap over time. Not right now, because like I said, the development's much smaller for Solana, but I think that adoption is going to be there. And as there's more bridging, and as soon as there's more cross-chain trading available with those tokens that you can spend them more easily, I think it'll balance out some of those market caps a little bit. And I think that Solana being so far below where Ethereum is by market cap, that it's able to bring that up over time. So we're going to have to watch that play out and see if that really does happen. But if it does, I mean, this thing, let's just call it doubling its market cap. That means doubling its price, and that puts this thing closer to $300 per sold token. I don't know that it's going to happen. I don't have my full list of research done for Solana yet. It's one that I have to read up more on. I can see it as plausible at this point, but not enough that I want to say that I think that it will. I think that it could. So that's as much that I'll say about Solana. But honestly, from the look of the volume that we have here, and this might trade sideways a little bit, but there's still a fair amount of conviction even at these prices for Solana. So I'm going to keep it on my radar. And if we get a pullback on it sometime soon, maybe I'll use it for another opportunity to dollar cost average in on my position. I want a red day so that I can actually do that and feel better about my purchase because I don't regularly contribute to Solana. So those are my thoughts for Solana. So let me go back down to the coin market caps. There you go. Coin market caps. There we are. All right, this video is getting a little bit long. I did say that I would mention a stock. I think I might have to make a separate video for it, though. Coinbase, I mean, I'm going to give my case for it later on. I don't think that there's time for this one right now, but I do want to say that I think that Coinbase is going to benefit in really, really big ways. So I apologize that I plugged that I had a stock for you there. I named the stock for you. It's Coinbase. I think Q3 and Q4 for 2021. Coinbase is just going to see just an explosion in its stock price between now and then. Considering its beaten down price that it has started turning things around. So it broke the trend that it was on, the bearish trend that it had ever since it opened, and the crypto market tanked, and it had a lot of FUD and everything like that. And I know that there's talk about competition. I think Binance is .us or whatever is looking to join the publicly traded space. If that does, that will be more competition. But in the meantime, in between now and then, I think that that Coinbase is going to be a hard one to catch. I think that they're going to have a lot going for them. And like I said, I'm going to put that into another video. Let me summarize what I have for you. So Bitcoin, I don't think has had its moment yet. I think Ethereum has, Cardano has, and Solana have. And I think Ethereum is going to rest for a little bit. I still think it's going to have some pretty hard resistance at 4,000. It's going to need to rest for a little bit before it pushes on to break it. But overall, I think it will break it. So that's my short-term and longer-term call for that. I think we're going to see 5,000 by the time proof of stake fully hits the main net. And so whenever that time window comes out, hopefully sooner than later, hopefully before the end of Q1 2022, that we see that take place. And that's accelerated from what I thought it would be before. Solana, I think Solana is going to continue to be absolutely incredible. I think that it's not done with its run yet. It might wait a little bit, might rest a little bit. That 150 is actually a pretty round number, so we could get a psychological resist there. But it could also, I mean, like I said, I need to do my full reading on it and find out, how exactly I feel about it. But, just from my ignorant point of view on Solana, I don't see at this moment why it can't go to 300. And if I do find a reason, I'll put it back in this channel to be like, I don't think it's going to go to 300 anytime soon, meaning not in the next couple of years, and here's why. Or if I find that it will, I'll be like, I think it will go to 300 the next couple of years, and here's why. But until then, I won't put my name to it. Like I said about Cardano, Cardano has the best looking daily chart out of those 4 cryptos moving forward from here. So I hope they enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you like the like button, I like the like button. It's so pretty. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified anytime that my videos come out. If you want me to sing, just put more singing into the comments, and I'll find out what other songs happen to come to mind. And my Patreon, love to see you over there. Come on, check it out. See it. What else I have to offer for you guys. Don't forget about Moomoo and Webull. Those referral links are down there as well. It's been incredible. Absolutely love hearing from you guys in the comments. So keep it up. I'll get back to them every time that I can. And yeah, I look forward to growing this channel with you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.